guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Siobhan from To Kitty and Beyond, and today we're going to do Chakra 101. So we're going to learn We're going to learn all about the chakra system, how to clear your chakras, how to balance them, how to know if they're unbalanced, and this will generally just make your life easier. So we'll just get into it right off the bat, and then I'll talk a little bit about this afterwards. So, chakra tune-up. If you haven't already seen, then you can see right here, this is sort of what the chakras look like. So imagine them as energy centers in your body, energy points in your body. And you've got 7 main ones. There's a whole bunch of other ones. There's ones that go outside of your body, above and below, the Earth Star Chakra, the Soul Star Chakra, and then it goes out from there. And you've also got meridian points all over your body, which is what they use in acupuncture and reflexology and stuff like that. And then you've got hand chakras as well. But today we're just going to stick to the 7 main ones, because when you get clearing those, it'll sort of trickle down and clear all the rest of your chakras as well. So we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So the root chakra is at the base of your spine. It's in the front and the back. So again, you've got 7 chakras, but there's 2 sort of portals for the chakra at each center. So you'll have one in the front, which is for your feeling, and one in the back, which is your willpower or your willingness to feel. So for the root chakra, it's kind of an exception because you've got more of it's got more of a downward trajectory where it's going down the legs and towards the feet, but it still has that front and back action as well. My cat's really hyper right now. So the root chakra is red. Oh my God, she's just going crazy. The root chakra is red, and it has the slowest vibration, as red has the lowest frequency. And it's very grounding. So a good way to balance your root chakra is to ground down into the earth, imagining roots or a beam of energy or red light coming out of your legs or your feet. It starts at the base of your spine and then goes down from there. So you'll have it go down your legs, out through the bottoms of your feet, down through the sorry, my cat's what is she doing? Down through the ground, down through the foundations, down through and into the core of the center of the earth. And that's where you're really, really going to get grounded and feel stable. You'll feel more secure in your body, and you'll feel more present and more aware. So we're going to go into, the root. If there's any physical imblockages, they will present as constipation, fatigue, like physical fatigue, fatigue of your body, fatigue of your muscles, feeling bone tired. That's an analogy or something that would describe a root chakra imbalance. Emotionally, you'll feel spacey, you'll feel unsafe, you'll feel fear. The root chakra is also linked to our connections to survival. So it's your survival instinct, your fight or flight, feeling safe in a group, feeling like you're connected to your tribe, like that tribal mentality, having that connection to others. So it's also related to relationships, but that's also more so the sacral, which we'll get into in a second. So another, I'm just looking at, I've got everything sort of mapped out here. So more with the root. So the color, again, we went over that, is red. The Sanskrit name is Muladhara. I'm not good with the Sanskrit names. It's root support. The location is the base of the tailbone. We went over that. The element is earth. That's pretty straightforward. It governs your sense of smell. The sound is lam. So if you're doing mantras and chanting, you can say lam, and we'll go over all the other ones, and you can combine them all together to help balance all of the chakras. Food type is potatoes and meats, so very grounding food. Make sure if you are eating meat, try to get it organic, grass-fed, preferably halal, just so that there's no trauma. I mean, killing anything is not good, but it's really bad. It's very ungrounding and very bad for your energy system if you're eating meats that were slaughtered inhumanely and experienced a lot of trauma in their lifetime, because that energy will transfer into your physical body, into your DNA, and into your energy system through that consumption of that food. So that's why a lot of people are choosing to go vegan now, because they're realizing that trauma is an energetic thing. So people aren't even going vegan so much for the fact that it's healthier for your body and whatnot, but it's actually an energetic thing. And I noticed a big difference. I've been vegan, vegetarian. I cheat with cheese sometimes, but since I cut out meat completely, I've noticed a big difference in my energy. It's risen a lot. I have more energy after I eat, rather than having to feel like I take a nap or feeling bloated. I don't get bloated anymore. I don't experience constipation anymore. My hormonal cycles have balanced out a lot. And I'll go into a bit more about hormones as well when we get to the pineal gland and the thyroid. I have experienced just feeling energetically lighter, and energetically I've been able to connect more and expand my aura, balance my chakras. So you can eat meat if you wish. I have no judgments against anybody, because I ate meat my whole life. And so this isn't like a vegan versus meat eaters type of a conversation. This is to each their own, and whatever works for you, and that's fine. But when it comes to the energy system, it is beneficial, if you're trying to live a high vibrational frequency life, to at least supplement with more plant-based options. So enough on that. Stones are red stones, so and red and black. So anything dark or earthy. I've got some snowflake obsidian here, which is very grounding. It removes negativity. And is very helpful to ground, especially for me. I have a tendency to be more up in my higher chakras, and I constantly need to be grounded. So I've also got some hematite, one of the most grounding stones that you can get. It's also very magnetic. So just holding it right now, it feels heavy. When you pick it up, it's heavy, but it's more so than just a physical heaviness. I can feel the heaviness almost as if it's taking my spirit, my soul, and kind of just pulling it down in a good way, not like lowering the vibration. It keeps your vibration high, but just kind of pulls you to the earth realm and kind of grounds you here, so that because the whole thing with the root chakra is that you can't go up unless you go down first. So it's like a tree. You need to have very solid roots to be able to grow tall, because, the tallest trees have the deepest roots, the widest roots. They're stable and they're balanced. So for those people who are trying to really open up their higher chakras because they believe that that's the way to go, I want to be able to see things, I want to be able to sense things, I want to have visions, I want to connect, I want to astral project and all of these things, that's fantastic. But first, the focus needs to be on getting your roots. And I made this mistake myself, so no judgment, because that's what I thought when I first started. I was like, well, I'm a water sign, and I have a lot of air in my chart. I'm water and air. I'm hardly any fire and hardly any ground earth signs either. So I'm very up here, and I needed to be told by my Reiki teacher and all of the people around me who would come into contact with me, like, you really need to ground, girl. You really need to bring that energy and plant it into the earth. So another way that you can ground your energy is to go out in nature. This is one of the best things that you can do. Literally go hug a tree. I do this sometimes, and people walk by and they're like, what is she doing? I'm like, I don't care. I love this tree. This tree is giving me life. It's giving me energy, and it transmutes your energy, and it's a symbiotic relationship. Just as we breathe out we breathe out CO2, and they use that, and then they expel oxygen, which we breathe. It's that symbiosis. It's the same thing with the energy. So when you hug a tree, they'll take your negative energy and turn that into food for them, and then they give you the positive energy, and you can use that to live. So that's really healthy, especially if you've heard about earthing. It's going barefoot on the ground. So being barefoot in the sand or barefoot on dirt. Go walk in the forest barefoot. That's the best thing you can do to get the negative ions into your body, which is what you want, because that helps balance you out and clear your energy field. It also promotes circulation. So that's like at a physical level, it's giving you benefits as well as at an energetic level. And it helps really ground you and connect you to the earth. So the main focus is physical existence of the root chakra. And the affirmations are, I am grounded, safe, and secure. I make a good living doing what I love. I am stable, strong, and healthy. So another thing with the root chakra in combination with the sacral chakra is it's focused on finances as well. So if you're feeling like you don't have enough, you're feeling this lack mentality, or you're feeling like unstable in your finances, that'll show up as a root chakra and blockage, or it can show up as a root chakra and blockage. And sometimes if there's a root chakra blockage, it'll present physically as lower back pain, leg pain, sciatica, so like nerve damage or dysfunction, tingling in the feet, weakness in the knees, all of these kind of lower body, lower extremities, it'll affect that. So the balancing that the root chakra will help to alleviate all of those physical discomforts and symptoms. Okay, so now we're on to the sacral chakra, which is going one up. So sacral chakra is orange, and it governs your, I forgot to mention for the root chakra, it governs your bowels, again, all of these lower extremities. So anything in that region, like your lower intestine, what else is down there? Anyway, all that region, okay? So for the sacral chakra, it governs your testes, your ovaries, anything in that general region as well. So it's in that area, and it also governs sexuality. So for the second chakra, which is feminine, the color's orange, like we just mentioned. The name is Svadhisthana, meaning is one's own place. And it's governing the pelvis and the sacrum. The element is water. Sense is taste. The seed sound is vam. Food types are liquids. You can also eat orange foods like like pumpkin, squash, orange peppers, that kind of thing. So for crystals, you can use coral, carnelian, and moonstone. I've got here, I believe this is red jasper. I don't actually know what kind this is, but I'm thinking it's either red jasper or carnelian. So but carnelian's usually a little bit more orangey. But I'm using this as a substitute for my sacral chakra because I just realized I have so many crystals and I have like no sacral crystals, so I should probably go out and get some because I've definitely experienced sacral blockages. So the sacral chakra governs emotions and intimacy, and so it's definitely connected to relationships, personal relationships, friends, family, and sexual relationships predominantly. So it's how we relate to others and how they relate to us, and that any kinds of attachment, you'll get cords going to the sacral chakra for sexual attachment or unhealthy relationships or things like that. So I may go into cord cutting. We'll see how long this video goes, but if it's going too long, I'll do a separate video on cord cutting because that's very important and energy clearing. So the sacral chakra is also about creativity. So if you're feeling stagnant or stuck in your creativity, that can create sacral blockages. So the affirmations on that note are, I am creative and adaptable. I am a sensual and sexual being. I am able to enjoy the pleasures of life. So the sacral chakra is all about enjoying the pleasures and not restricting yourself, which is, I think, a big thing in our society is that taboo around sexuality and feeling guilt or shame. I just kept mixing them in the wrong way. Guilt or shame around your sexuality. And I know personally that's been something that I've been having to work with because I've had sacral chakra blockages around that, about feeling like it's not okay for me to be sexual, feeling like awkward or unbalanced in my sexuality, or feeling like I need to fear it or be ashamed of it. But that's not the case. But we've been conditioned to believe that. So it's about deprogramming yourself from that and coming back into your sacred sexuality, which when you combine your energy with another in this sacred form of sexuality, you are transferring your energy with theirs. A piece of your energy will forever stay in their field and vice versa. So you need to be very discerning about who you're having sexual relations with, especially once you've awakened. And the only way to clear that is to have a Kundalini awakening or like really intense energy clearing. Maybe some cord cutting would be beneficial as well. So just not to go off on a tangent, but So any imbalances will be like genital issues, sexual or fertility issues, problems or rigidity, frigidity, like feeling blocked in your sexuality, hormone imbalances. What else? Dehydration. So what else have we got here? So for this, painful periods or infertility, again, low sex drive and creative blocks. So feeling into your sacred sexuality is key for that, and doing the affirmations of allowing yourself to be creative, allowing yourself to feel joy and passion and pleasure, and not feeling any negative emotions attached to that. So that's really crucial. So next we're going to move on to the solar plexus chakra, which is yellow. It's the third one. It's slightly above your navel. It governs the pancreas, I believe the stomach, and a couple of other ones. So it's related to physical imblockages would be poor digestion, low blood sugar, low self-esteem and lack of willpower for emotional, lack of confidence. It is the center of your confidence and also your gut feeling, your intuition. So if there's any imbalance there, you'll feel off center, you'll feel indecisive, not sure which way to go, not trusting yourself, feeling weak or disempowered, feeling as though somebody else has taken your power away from you, feeling just generally having a lack of confidence. So this is all about your willpower, your level of confidence in yourself, and your groundedness in yourself, your personality, your persona, who you are. So crystals for that are, I've got some citrine here, which is one of my favorites. Citrine, tiger's eye, topaz is good as well. I've also got some yellow calcite or orange calcite. So this can actually be, a lot of the crystals you can use for more than one chakra. This one would be sacral and solar plexus, and then the carnelian or the red jasper would be root and sacral. So you can kind of go one down and one above depending on the one. So the solar plexus is yellow. The Sanskrit name is Manipura, which means lustrous gem. And its element is fire, the sense is sight, the seed sound is ram. Food types are carbohydrates, also yellow foods, so yellow peppers, bananas, corn, that kind of things. It's the color frequency that's really integrating into that chakra system. Power and identity is the main focus. The right to act. So, and to act confidently and be sure of yourself in your actions. So being decisive, and power, confidence, charisma, strong will, humor, leadership, and mental clarity are big keywords for your solar plexus chakra. So if it's imbalanced, again, you'll have digestive issues, kidney or liver problems, pancreas problems, rage, diabetes, ulcers, chronic fatigue, low self-esteem is probably the top one, and anxiety. So if there's a blockage or an imbalance in your sacral chakra, if you're finding yourself covering your stomach area like that, especially if you're talking to certain people and you feel automatically put off by them, it's a sacral connection that they may be trying to take your energy through your sacral chakra. So if anybody's disempowered you, you may have cords of attachment through your sacral chakra to them. I had one with one of my ex-boyfriends, and my Reiki master saw it, and she goes, and she basically walked through all of the things that happened in that relationship. She's never met him, never heard the story. And she's like, okay, well, it's just a small hook. We'll just take it out. So she pulled it out, let it go, sent it back with love, and then it's done. Now I've got my solar plexus are back in order. They're back to being whole. I'm feeling more confident. So a great visualization that you can do is, and this goes for every chakra, is to imagine the color of the chakra as a bright glowing ball, and then expand that ball out. So I imagine it being like a little sun in my stomach right here, and it just glows brighter and brighter and full of love and confidence and power, and then the white light coming into it and clearing out anything that doesn't need to be there anymore, that's not for the greatest and highest good, and then putting that away. putting it into the violet flame for cleansing, transmuting, and sending that with love into the light. So that's good for the solar plexus chakra. Now we're moving on to the heart, which is green right here. So I just picked up, and I'm really excited about it, a very powerful heart chakra clearing stone today. I went to the Museum of Natural History. Yeah, natural history, natural science and history, whatever. This is malachite. It's a beautiful stone, as you can see, extremely powerful. So the heart chakra's color is green. Emerald, aventurine, green aventurine, malachite, jade, any green stone, and pink. So rose quartz, any kind of pink and green go together for the heart. So heart clearing is all about giving and receiving love. So if there's an imbalance and you're giving too much love and you're not allowing yourself to receive, that'll show up as a heart chakra blockage. Or if you're not giving enough and you're only receiving, that'll show up as a heart chakra blockage. Heartbreak, heart trauma, loss, anything like that will gather in the heart chakra, and that can affect your lymph nodes, your breasts, your lungs, especially. Loss and trauma get stored in the lungs. It'll affect your arms and your hands, because your hand chakras are connected to your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is also the center of the chakras. It connects the lower with the 3 higher. So it's right smack in the middle. You've got 3 lower, 3 higher, and it's like the central station. It's also the most powerful in my opinion, because the heart emits the most, the largest electromagnetic field of the body. So when you've got that toroidal energetic flow around you, it's coming predominantly from your heart chakra. Also, the heart chakra is what you would use to create your Merkaba, which is an interdimensional transportation system, natural organic transportation system, which you can activate as protection or to travel multidimensionally. I'm not going to go too into that, but if you want to look it up, it's spelled Merkaba. Ba. That's French. I'm in Canada, so bilingual, even though I'm not really. So we're going to go a bit more into that. So it's the 4th chakra. It's feminine as well. The color is green. We went over that. The Sanskrit name is Anahata. Meaning is unstuck. The heart center is about here. You've also got a high heart, which is your thymus, which is here, but we're not going to go too much into that because it's not a primary chakra center. The sense is touch. The seed sound is yam. Food types are vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, kale, lettuce, arugula, herbs, anything like that. Just green. It's fairly simple. It's just corresponding with the colors. Just match it up with the colors and you're good to go. So again, we went over the crystals. Jade, emerald, and rose quartz are really good. Malachite, green aventurine. The main focus is love and connection, like we said. So it's the right to love. So love, trust, healing, equanimity, compassion, connection, and surrender, which is a big one. So surrendering to giving and receiving love freely, surrendering to unconditional love, surrendering to your heart's knowing, because your heart is also one of the organs in your body that has one of the highest levels of information processing through it. It's almost like a second brain, and so is your stomach. So that's why when people are saying trust your gut, it's your intuition, it's your solar plexus, that's the biomes, the microbes in your stomach and small intestines, which have forms of intelligence themselves. And then the heart is very similar. The heart is an intelligent organ, and then the brain, which is an intelligent organ. So we've got different levels of intelligence that help us move through life in different ways, depending on the situation and what we need to understand, learn, know, that kind of thing. So if you're having imbalances in the heart chakra, it can show up as asthma, sleep apnea, heart or lung problems, breast cancer, allergies, immune disorders, lonely, antisocial, and thymus issues. So I just want to share that, not to go into detail or anything, but my mom experienced breast cancer, and I learned Reiki shortly after. And when I scanned over her body, when my hand got to her heart, my hand started to shake like this. I could feel the energy like it was vibrating my whole face, and my pinky started twitching. And I was like, oh my God, that's like a huge mega blockage. And it was prickly and it was uncomfortable, and I could really sense it. And so we cleared that all out. And now she's really continued to work on giving and receiving love, because my mom is such a beautiful soul, but she overgives of herself. She overgives and doesn't allow herself to receive, but she's learning how to receive now, and how to get back into balance, how to go through life with that equanimity. And bless her, because she's just the most loving, amazing person. I love her so much. I love her, love her, love her. Okay. So, what else? I think I covered most of the things for the heart, high blood pressure and heart disease. And so emotional symptoms would be lack of empathy, fear of intimacy. Those are really big ones. Fear of commitment in relationships or in love. Feeling cut off from people around you, feeling cut off emotionally, that's a big one. So getting back in touch with love, unconditional love, and love for yourself and love for others, that's a big thing for the heart chakra. So we're going to move on now to the third throat chakra. I skipped one, or I almost skipped one. So the third throat, I keep wanting to go to the third eye. It's my favorite. No, it's okay. So the throat chakra. I still have throat chakra blocks to work on, and I know that, and it's coming from past lives, and it's coming from into this life. I've had lots of things to do with my throat chakra and feeling, being able to speak my mind. So the throat chakra is all about speaking authentically, and speaking your truth. Oh, you know what I forgot to do for the heart chakra? Affirmations. Sorry, we'll just backtrack for 1 second. The affirmations for the heart chakra are: I am loving and lovable. I am deeply compassionate. I am a source of healing in the world. That's beautiful. Another one that I like is I give love and receive love with ease and grace. Okay. Now we're going on to the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is blue, and it's at your throat. Pretty self-explanatory. It's the fifth chakra. It's masculine. The Sanskrit name Visuddha, which means purity. So the sound, or it's the element of that chakra is sound. The sense is hearing, and the seed sound of it is ham. Food types are fruits, so blueberries, fruit, any kind of blue foods. Yeah. So crystals, sodalite, celestite, turquoise. I've got some sodalite here. I have some kyanite, basically blue crystals. Indigo, blue, royal blue, sky blue, anything like that. Blue lace agate I have as well, but I'm not going to get it out right now. Blue crystals, yeah. And so putting them, again, and I forgot to mention this, rather, not again. I forgot to mention that with each crystal, you can put them on the physical point in your body, lay them out when you're lying down on yourself in bed or on the floor, wherever. And that will help to balance the chakras just with that energy alone. So like, for example, I would take my sodalite and put it on my throat. I can hold it here like this if it's just the one chakra and it's feeling unbalanced, or I'll lie down and I'll lay them all out on top. So, right. So self-expression, life purpose, the right is to express, to be able to express yourself authentically and with love. So things that block the throat chakra are not speaking up for yourself, not speaking your truth. Lying blocks your heart chakra big time, throat chakra big time. Speaking negatively, speaking hatefully, anything like that, that'll block up the throat chakra. But for me, predominantly, my throat has issues of speaking up for myself and speaking my truth. So a lot of the times, like, I'll just stay quiet. On here, I'm very confident because it's just me by myself in my house. But when I'm out in public, I'm very introverted. I am an INFJ personality type, if on the Myers-Briggs scale, which is a Jungian psychology personality inventory, which is very introverted and feeling. And so I don't like to express myself openly, which blocks up my throat chakra, which I'm working on. I'm getting better at speaking my truth and speaking with love and communicating authentically. And so one of the best ways to clear your throat chakra is to sing, of course. To sing, to chant, to speak with love to others, to communicate, like having a really solid conversation with like your best friend or your mom or something like that. That'll really open up your throat chakra in like the best way. So it governs, truth. Truth, passion, expression, artistry, service, synchronicity, and communication. If it's malfunctioning, you will have either thyroid or hormonal imbalances, because the thyroid governs your endocrine system, or it's one of the glands in your endocrine system which produce hormones. Teeth, gum issues, tonsillitis, neck issues. That's what I experienced, was like stiff neck, and like I would wake up every morning and I'd be going to the chiropractor, and it's just like the muscles, and the spine as well. Locked shoulders, TMJ, lack of purpose and fear of speaking, like fear of public speaking, or just speaking in general, just speaking to anybody about anything. That's like a throat chakra blockage as well. So the affirmations are: I know my truth and I share it openly. I am guided by my deepest purpose. My life is guided by divine synchronicity. So the throat chakra is also governs our will and our decision making, which is also tied to the solar plexus and the third eye, but we'll touch on that in a second. So the throat is really about communicating and taking action on that decision. So if it's blocked, you'll feel indecisive, unsure, unwilling to make a decision or communicate your choice, and feeling like you're pushing against the flow of the universe. So resisting the flow of events around you, or resisting the synchronicity, resisting the divine guidance, because also the throat chakra is where you will have channelings. You would, because the throat chakra also governs the ears. So if you're clairaudient, that'll be predominantly a throat chakra thing. And so that's why I'm working on clearing mine now, because I do have clairaudience and I channel as well, which I'm starting out on. So I'm working my way up. I'm building up my channeling strength. That's why eventually I will introduce my channelings to YouTube, but I'm not quite ready yet. I'd like to continue to strengthen that ability before I go public with it. I do use it a little bit when I'm doing tarot readings, but it's not like the full-on channeling of different kinds of beings and things like that, which I do in my spare time. So next we're going to go on to the third eye chakra, and I'm just realizing now that I don't actually have any third eye crystals right here. Hold on, let me grab my amethyst. One sec. My Beauty and the Beast shirt. I'm such a Disney girl. Okay, so amethyst. This is my big old chunk of amethyst that I got from an awesome rock and gem show that came to Ottawa last year. And so it's purple. So the third eye color is purple. It is, it can also be indigo. So indigo, purple. I'm colorblind, so not colorblind, but color deficient, which is rare for women, but I won't go into that right now. It's just a chromosomal thing. Anyway, so the third eye is purple. It governs your sight, your inner sight. It's attached to the pineal gland and the pituitary gland as well. So it's in the brain, governing sight, inner sight as well. So the pineal gland, interestingly enough, has rods and cones in it, just like our physical eyes do, for perceiving color and contrast. So the whole thing here is that your third eye can literally see, even though it's in the middle of your brain, because it's activated through photon downloads, and photons are the smallest particles of light. So they enter in through your crown chakra, which we'll get to in a second, and they enter into the pineal gland. Now, the problem is that a lot of what people are intaking calcifies your pineal gland. So when I say calcify, it's literally calcium in your body, which makes up your teeth and your bones, being attracted to the pineal gland and covering it so that you cannot, it doesn't work properly. The pineal gland also governs melatonin production, so it's responsible for your sleep and wake cycles. And your pineal gland, the most activated hours for it are between, I think, 2 and 4 in the morning when it's darkest out at night, because that's when the melatonin is being released and your pineal gland is active. Your pineal gland also releases dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT, the spirit molecule, the chemical of the brain which allows for transcendental experiences. So in states of extreme meditation, having visions like that, monks being able to go into their astral bodies, having visions, remote viewing, all of this kind of thing, it stems from the pineal gland. So I want to just skip right back to calcination for a second. So the pineal gland becomes calcified by fluoride. So it can also become calcified by eating unhealthy fast foods with lots of preservatives in them, but predominantly it's from fluoride. And here's why: because the pineal gland needs iodine. But fluoride mimics iodine because they're very close in chemical structure. So the pineal gland will absorb the fluoride and think that that's iodine, and it starts the calcination process. So it's like this little gland in your brain is literally getting covered in calcium, becoming hard. So it can't function properly. So a good way to reverse this is, one, by getting a proper filter to make sure that you're not drinking fluoride in your water. So any tap water, it's going to contain anywhere from low to really high doses of fluoride depending on where you live, and how filtered it is when it comes through. Now, Brita filters and things like that don't filter fluoride, and I'm guilty of this. I have a Brita, so I need to go out and buy a specific filter that's going to take out the fluoride. They can be kind of expensive, but there are ones online. If I can find some links, I'll put them in the description box below. But I think one of them is called Pure. I'll leave it in the down bar, but that will make a huge difference. And the second one, which I'm doing right now, and I have noticed a massive difference since I started doing this, is taking nascent iodine. So iodine is a mineral, or it's naturally produced in the body. A lot of people are deficient in it. That's why they say iodized salt. They iodized the salt to be able to get that out to the population, because 90% of the population is deficient in iodine. I realized this because I didn't have any little half moons on my nails, and I remember that I used to, and they were almost all gone. I had 2 tiny, tiny ones on my thumbs, and that was it. And I was having skin issues, which is connected to the thyroid. So the thyroid also needs iodine. Also, breast cancer is most often caused physically by having a lack of iodine. So by taking iodine, you're helping to balance your thyroid, you're helping to balance your hormones, which then affects your breasts and your glands. So taking the iodine, it's only 3 drops a day, and you can vary it. You can take less. I take 3 drops every day, or I try to remember. I like it because it tastes kind of metallic-y. I like it. It tastes like licking stainless steel. I don't know why I like that, but I do. And I've noticed a huge difference. So my half moons on my nails are starting to come back. My skin has cleared up a lot. My hormones have balanced out. In addition to my vegetarian and vegan diet, I've noticed I don't get cramps anymore. I don't get bloated. My menstruation is more even and cycled. It's not as heavy. I know that's TMI, but whatever. It's mostly girls watching anyway. But if you're a guy, comment below, let me know, because my analytics tell me it's mostly feminine, mostly females watching. So back to iodine. I got mine from Global Healing Center Chakra.com, I believe. They shipped it really fast and it was affordable. It's just a little jar like this, but it's got 1,000 doses in it, so that's going to last me like 2-3 years probably. It's a lot. Like, I've had it for a while and I've not even put a dent in it. So yeah, I've noticed a huge difference with that, not just physically, but also with my third eye. So I've been seeing more energy frequencies lately. I've started to see auras around people, not all the time, but when I focus. So the way to see an aura, I'm just going to touch on this real quick. If you want more information on this, I can do a separate video on how to see energy and see auras. But I'm just starting out myself, so I'm not quite feeling comfortable about like teaching a masterclass on it when I'm still kind of segueing and beginning into it. But I disfocus my eyes. I'll look about maybe 5 or 6 inches to the right or left of what I'm focusing on. Almost like when you remember as a kid, they had those images of all these different things, and you'd kind of disfocus your eyes and you'd see something different. Like you'd see the real image. It's kind of like that. So you disfocus your eyes and then you kind of look a little bit beyond where you're trying to see the aura, and then you'll start to see a glow. So when I first started to see it, it was more like a white outline around the body, and I would practice on my cat. So I'd see like a white outline around her body. Then as I got more practiced, I started seeing it like almost like a smoke coming out from her body. And then now I'm getting a little bit more advanced. I can start to see colors. So I'll practice at school when I'm in lectures. I'll zone out, which is, I know I'm supposed to be paying attention, but I'm like, I want to see auras. So I'll look at somebody like over here, and I'll start out with just the white outline, and then it progresses and it gets bigger. I can start to see the movement in the aura of the pulsation, and then I'll start to see the color. So I'll see, yellow or green. So the yellow would be the solar plexus, green would be the heart chakra. My aura is predominantly purple, and I've checked this several times, and I've also had this confirmed for me from elsewhere, from mediums and clairvoyants as well. And so that's a characteristic of channeling abilities, psychic abilities, and indigos, which I am all of those. So, but I'm just starting out on my journey, so I'm not quite there yet, but I'll get there. Just take some motivation, some effort, and some time, and patience. So anyway, the third eye chakra is, indigo, we went over that. The Sanskrit name is Ajna. The meaning is command. It's the brow center, so it's focused right here. Imbalances in the third eye chakra can present as headaches, depression, feeling pressure in your head, especially if you're trying to meditate. That's what I felt a lot when I was first starting out and it was still blocked. There was this pressure building up, and it would feel like there was something trying to like push out of my skull. It was very uncomfortable, and I did not enjoy that. So the iodine really helped with that. Now I can feel it activate, but it's not that really uncomfortable pressure like it used to be. So the element is light. The sense is intuition, and it's your sixth sense, literally your sixth sense. The seed sound is Om, which is the sound of source. So when you reunite with source, the sound frequency is that Om sound. The food type is beauty, a visual feast. So looking at things that you find beautiful, that's a big one. Finding beauty in the world. So the stones are opal, azurite, and lapis lazuli. Ooh, I have some lapis. That's one of my favorite ones. I forgot to anyways, So the main focus is to clear your perspective, and it's about psychic abilities as well, which everybody has, just to different degrees and different strengths. So if you don't feel like you can do this, know that you can, because it's innate in all of us. And some people will be more clairvoyant, some people will be more clairsentient, some people will be more claircognizant. It all just depends. It's just like if we were all the same, we wouldn't be able to benefit each other. We wouldn't be able to help each other or to be balanced. So there needs to be balance. We all have different strengths to be able to be a strong team. To perceive, it's your right to perceive, and it governs vision, intuition, dreams. Dreams are a big one, so lucid dreaming and astral projection, insight, perception, and clairvoyance. If it's malfunctioning, you'll get vision problems, migraines, nightmares, bipolar sleep disorders, sinus issues, hallucinations, and lack of intuition. So when my third eye, before I even knew about any of this stuff, I was having inner ear imbalances where my Oh my gosh, now just talking about it, I'm starting to feel it. Like can't remember what it's called, but it's when your inner ear goes off and you feel like you're completely unbalanced. Like it felt like the world was spinning around me. If somebody remembers what this is called, type it in the comments because I can't remember what it's called right now. It'll come to me. So the affirmations are: I am intuitive and follow my inner guidance. I always see the bigger picture and I avidly follow my dreams. So the third eye is one of my favorite. It's also been the most difficult one for me, and I'm still continuing to blossom with my psychic abilities. So, but it's definitely, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see visions. It's fascinating to see energy, and it gives you a whole new perspective on life because you don't see things from just the physical perspective anymore. You see things from the energetic perspective where everybody is a soul rather than just a body. You know, I see these people now and I can sense not only their emotions because I'm an empath, but and feel their vibration and their energy, their frequency, but I can sense sort of what their life is all about. I can sense like what they're thinking. Telepathy is a big thing, which we are all hardwired for, by the way. So once this awakening really takes off, we're going to see a lot more telepathy, not just between twin flames, but also in the collective, the general collective, because we're all hardwired for that. And that's one of our innate abilities that just it has been left undiscovered until this time. So that's awesome. We're going to be able to mind communication. So we're going to move on now to the last chakra, which is the crown chakra. It's at the top of the head. I've had some major crown chakra activations recently. I feel them as like either pinpricks or tickling on my head, all the way to like when I'm getting downloads or I'm channeling, it feels like somebody's massaging my head like this. It's so intense. It's like I love it though. So the crown chakra is the seventh chakra. It's unified. It is your connection to source. It is your connection to God, if you want to call it that. But the higher consciousness. It's also your connection to your higher self. So it is unified. It's violet in color or clear white light. The Sanskrit name is Sahasrara. Which means thousand spoked, and a lot of the times in the drawings and stuff, it'll be depicted as a thousand leafed lotus flower, which is beautiful. And I sometimes, when I'm trying to open my crown chakra or consciously connect to source, I'll imagine it as a purple lotus flower blooming and opening beautifully like this to accept the light from source. So that's a good visualization technique. And with all of these, just use your imagination. Think up things that work for you to balance your chakras, because there's no wrong way to do it, and it's going to be different for everybody. You can find guidance outside of yourself, but intuitively you'll know what to do. Just start trusting your intuition, and it won't steer you wrong. So the location is at the top of the head. The element is thought. The sense is none. It's beyond senses because it's not physical. It's non-physical. It's immaterial. It's just energy. So the seed sound is silence, and the food type is fasting. So not having any food. Stones are diamond, amethyst, and clear quartz. I have some clear quartz here, which is one of my all-time favorite crystals. I have tons of different kinds of quartz and tons of different clear quartz points, and it's extremely high frequency, high vibrational, and you can use this for all your chakras, by the way. Quartz is multidimensional, and it's fantastic for clearing energy blockages. They hold information as well, so you can get different kinds of quartz, like Lemurian quartz, which is seeded with Lemurian ancient knowledge. So when you're meditating with it, it'll activate certain memories in your energy field. So when you're coming into contact with quartz, it's automatically raising your vibration. It's automatically connecting you to source, to that vibration of source, which is high vibrational frequency of God, of the universal life force energy of Reiki. There's so many names. It's all the same. And it can heal all of the chakras. So you can put this, you can just get all clear quartz points if you want. You can put them all over your body, and it helps to also, there's golden healer quartz, which is one of my other favorites, which I use in my healing, my Reiki practice. It literally will pull out imbalances in the chakras, and then I clear the quartz and they're gone. So instead of like physically pulling them out, which I do sometimes, I'll go like that to get the etheric gunk out, and then I flick it off like that. The quartz will do that. So I just hold it over, move it around a bit. I can feel that it's absorbed the blockage, and then clear the quartz either with salt, sage, incense, water, or dirt. You can use dirt, bury it outside, or put it in a bowl of dirt. So there's lots of different ways to clear crystals. Going further into that, the main focus of the crown chakra is connection to spirit and wisdom. And it's your right to know. And so people who are claircognizant, which is clair-knowing, which is that higher level of knowing, and not knowing how you know it, you just know it, that is connected to your crown chakra. The positive qualities are unity, wisdom, awareness, intelligence, understanding, miracles, and bliss. And if it's malfunctioning, it'll present as physical issues such as Alzheimer's, confusion, spaciness, mental illness, over-intellectualism, depression, apathy, learning disabilities as well. So affirmations you can do to balance the crown chakra are: I am intelligent and aware. I am one with everything. That's one of my favorites. I am one. We are one. I have an endless supply of energy. I am connected to source. Another one that I do a lot is I trust in the love and light of God. I am that I am. I am one with God. We are all one. So it's about being connected, feeling connected not just to physical things, but to all life, all consciousness, sentient and non-sentient. So that's a big one. I didn't go into the frequencies of each one. Like, there's sound frequencies that you can use for each one. If you just Google, especially on YouTube here, there's some fantastic music, 432 hertz, all of these different solfeggio scale sounds, which will interact with the chakras. So you can Google or go on YouTube and type in chakra clearing music, and they'll have a different toned frequency for each chakra, and they'll also have the Sanskrit lotus depiction of each chakra and the color as well. So that's fantastic to meditate to, and that'll help you know which one's unbalanced. So, for example, when I first did one of those meditations with that kind of a video, when it got to the solar plexus chakra, which is where I had that block before, I started to feel fear. As soon as the sound came on, and I felt icky, and I didn't want to deal with it. I was like, nope, I literally skipped ahead. But now, looking back, I realized why that happened. I didn't understand it at the time, and it scared me, so I skipped over it. But now, looking back, I understand that it happened because it was imbalanced and it needed to be cleared. And so clearing imbalances and blockages can be uncomfortable. It has to come up. It has to purge. It brings up things you're not going to enjoy. Like, for example, when my heart chakra cleared, I was healing from the loss of my best friend who passed away. And one of my Reiki teachers was just rubbing my back, and she's like, I'm breaking up the blockages in your heart chakra so that it can come out. And it came out like this, and I felt it almost like I was like vomiting out all of it. It was coming out of my lungs, out of my heart chakra, and then I just started bawling my eyes out at the kitchen table around with all these people at this Reiki weekend, and I was like, I'm not like that at all. I'm an Aquarius moon, so I'm very private about my emotions. I'm very sensitive, but I will only cry when I'm alone. I don't like to show emotions in public, and oftentimes I didn't even used to like talking about it, which is, I'm opening up my throat chakra, so I'm communicating it openly now, and that's helping me to balance that issue. So, but it felt really uncomfortable and it was like heart-wrenching, and it left me feeling empty for a couple of hours afterwards. But then when we filled it back up with light, I felt whole in a new way that I had never really experienced since that loss, which was 6 years before that. So I felt lighter, I felt loving again, and I was able to open my heart chakra wider. I was able to open my solar plexus, clearing all these blockages that I had in my chakras, to be able to be balanced in my energy field and to vibrate at a higher frequency, to keep my energy, my aura protected, balanced, and whole. And that way I can give that energy to others freely without needing to fear that I don't have enough. Being connected to source through the crown chakra gives you infinite amounts of energy. So for example, you don't need to protect your energy field as much, because you can just give it to people. Here, have some energy, have some love, have some light, have some source. And like I'll walk through a room and literally do that. I will walk into a room and I will ground myself, and I will connect up, and I'll let it flow, and I'll just radiate out, and I'll make sure that everyone that I'm coming into contact with is getting some love. And I especially do it at school, because the students are all really stressed out, and I know I am too. So I will walk through, and everyone who passes by me, I'm imagining them receiving a little bit of love and energy of source from my energy field, and take that with them as they go on about their day. So to help heal them, to help them feel more empowered, more confident, more loving, more grounded, more enjoying their life, and feeling confident in their abilities, and speaking their truth, and seeing things more clearly. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, because it's been almost an hour. And I hope you guys